As the twins grew older, they became fearless hunters and powerful warriors, admired by everyone around them. From this humble beginning, Rome would one day rule millions of people across 3 continents. Its armies were feared. Its roads connected the world. Its legacy still shapes our civilization. But every great empire has a beginning, and every beginning has a legend. According to legend, 2 twin brothers were destined to change history forever.
The river carried them toward an unknown future.
The story of Rome had begun. No one could imagine that these 2 boys would become the center of one of history's greatest legends.
As the twins grew older, they became fearless hunters and powerful warriors, admired by everyone around them.
Neither brother knew that royal blood flowed through their veins.
The truth would soon change their destiny forever.
They discovered they were descendants of a royal family, betrayed before they were even born. Filled with courage, the brothers reclaimed their family's honor. Now free, they dreamed of building a city unlike any the world had ever seen.
But one question divided them. Where should the new city be built?
They turned to the gods, believing divine signs would reveal the chosen ruler.
The omens sparked a fierce dispute that neither brother would accept.
Before Rome could be born, brother would stand against brother.
The brothers' argument reached its breaking point. Pride replaced love, and destiny demanded a terrible sacrifice.
The sacred boundary of the future city was drawn into the earth by Romulus himself. Remus mocked the boundary and leaped across it, challenging his brother's authority. In a moment that would echo through history, Romulus struck his own brother down. Remus was gone. Romulus stood alone, carrying both victory and unbearable sorrow.
In 753 BC, Romulus officially founded the city that would become Rome.
Simple wooden homes soon filled the hilltops, and the first citizens began building a new future.
Romulus organized his people into a disciplined community, protected by loyal warriors.
The foundations of Roman law, military discipline, and leadership were beginning to take shape.
From one man's dream, the city of Rome had been born, and its march toward becoming the greatest empire in history had begun. With Rome established, Romulus became its first king. His greatest challenge was no longer survival, it was building a nation. People from nearby villages arrived every day, seeking protection, opportunity, and a new beginning. To strengthen his kingdom, Romulus welcomed outsiders, refugees, and exiles from across the region.
But Rome faced one serious problem. There were far more men than women. Without families, Rome's future was uncertain. The city needed a new generation to survive.
Romulus invited neighboring tribes to a grand festival, promising peace, friendship, and celebration. As the celebration reached its peak, everything changed in a single moment.
Roman warriors carried out a bold and controversial plan that would shape the city's future forever. The neighboring tribes were furious, and soon, war marched toward the young city of Rome. Rome would face its first great test, a battle that would determine whether the city would survive or disappear forever.
The enemy coalition marched toward Rome, determined to destroy the young city before it could become a threat.
Inside the city, every citizen prepared for battle. Rome's future rested on the courage of its people.
King Romulus stood before his warriors with a single message.
There would be no surrender!
The clash began with the sound of horns echoing across the valley. Spears flew through the sky as the first battle for Rome erupted. Steel struck shields, and the battlefield shook beneath the roar of hundreds of warriors.
Just when defeat seemed possible, an unexpected act changed everything.
The women begged both sides to end the bloodshed and unite instead of destroying one another. The enemies became allies, and together they laid the foundations of a stronger Rome.
With peace restored, Rome entered a new era of growth. Every sunrise brought new settlers, new dreams, and new opportunities.
Fields outside the city flourished, feeding a population that continued to grow year after year.
The merchants arrived from distant lands, bringing precious metals, fine pottery, and exotic goods. Trade transformed Rome into one of the wealthiest cities in central Italy. To protect its prosperity, Rome needed a stronger and more disciplined army. Young recruits trained from sunrise to sunset, preparing for battles that would shape the future. Discipline became Rome's greatest weapon, more powerful than swords or shields. Neighboring tribes watched Rome's rapid rise with growing concern and suspicion. They realized that if Rome continued to grow, no kingdom around it would remain safe.
Another great conflict was approaching, and this time, Rome would fight not just for survival, but for dominance.
Rome's growing strength alarmed every neighboring kingdom. An alliance of enemies was formed to stop its expansion.
Messengers rode day and night, calling warriors from every corner of the region.
Soon, thousands of enemy warriors gathered, determined to crush the young Roman kingdom forever. Inside Rome, scouts brought urgent news. A great invasion was on its way. Without hesitation, the Roman army prepared to defend everything they had built. At dawn, the Roman legions marched out of the city with unwavering discipline. Every soldier knew that defeat would mean the end of Rome.
The two armies met beneath a dark and silent sky, waiting for the first command. In the next few moments, the future of Rome would be written in blood, courage, and sacrifice. The silence was broken by the thunder of war horns. The battle for Rome had begun.
Thousands of warriors charged forward, shaking the earth beneath their feet.
The first wave of Roman spears flew through the sky with deadly precision. The disciplined Roman shield wall absorbed the enemy's furious assault. Every step forward was earned through courage, discipline, and sacrifice.
Despite heavy resistance, the Roman formation never broke.
Seeing their discipline, the enemy warriors began to lose confidence.
King Romulus led from the front, inspiring every warrior with fearless determination. With one final coordinated assault, the Roman army shattered the enemy's defenses. As the dust settled, Rome stood victorious. Its first great military triumph had secured the city's future. Rome's victory echoed across Italy. Small villages that once ignored the city now began to fear its growing power.
Some chose to resist Rome. Others realized that an alliance offered the only path to survival.
One by one, nearby communities accepted Roman leadership, bringing new people, resources, and soldiers.
Rome grew stronger not only through conquest, but by welcoming allies into its expanding world.
As the population increased, new homes, roads, and public spaces transformed the city. Rome's leaders understood that a great city needed more than soldiers. It needed laws. Rules were established to protect citizens, settle disputes, and maintain order. Justice and discipline became the foundations upon which Rome would build its future empire.
Yet beyond Rome's borders, new rivals were already watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
The road to greatness would demand even greater battles, and Rome's greatest challenges were still ahead.
Nearly 5 centuries after Rome's founding, a brilliant military commander emerged who would change history forever. His name was Julius Caesar. Born into a respected but struggling noble family, Caesar dreamed of restoring Rome's greatness and his own.
His intelligence, ambition, and unmatched charisma quickly earned him loyal followers. Caesar soon took command of Roman legions and marched north into Gaul.
For 8 relentless years, he fought fierce tribes, expanded Roman territory, and forged one of history's greatest armies.
Each victory made Caesar more powerful and more feared by Rome's political elite.
The Senate believed Caesar's popularity threatened the Republic itself. In 49 BC, Caesar made a decision that would change Rome forever. He crossed the Rubicon, defying the Senate and igniting a civil war. From that moment, there was no turning back. Rome would never be the same again. Caesar's march toward Rome sparked one of the greatest civil wars in Roman history. Former allies now stood on opposite sides.
Many senators fled the capital, believing Caesar's arrival could not be stopped. Without a mather battle, Caesar entered Rome and took control of the government. But the war was far from over. Caesar's greatest rival, Pompey, was gathering forces in the east. In 48 BC, the two legendary commanders finally met at the Battle of Pharsalus. Although heavily outnumbered, Caesar relied on brilliant tactics instead of overwhelming numbers. His strategy shattered Pompey's army and secured a decisive victory. Pompey escaped to Egypt, hoping to rebuild his strength and continue the fight. But fate had already chosen a different ending for Rome's greatest rival. Caesar followed Pompey to Egypt, where another chapter of history was about to begin.
As Caesar arrived in Alexandria, he expected to meet his defeated rival. Instead, he was greeted with shocking news.
Pompey had been assassinated before Caesar could confront him. The civil war was over, but a new conflict had already begun. Egypt itself was divided. Two royal siblings were locked in a bitter struggle for the throne.
One of them was a young queen, whose intelligence would captivate the Roman world. Cleopatra. Cleopatra sought Caesar's support, believing that Rome alone could secure her throne.
You are a bold woman, Cleopatra.
Only Rome can secure my throne, Caesar.
Recognizing her political skill,
Caesar agreed to support Cleopatra's claim. Together, we will secure your throne.
Then Egypt's future is aligned with Rome.
The decision sparked a fierce conflict within Alexandria itself. After months of fighting, Caesar's forces emerged victorious, securing Cleopatra's rule. With Egypt now an ally, Caesar returned to Rome more powerful than ever before. Victorious in war and unmatched in influence, Julius Caesar was about to reach the highest position any Roman had ever held. After returning to Rome, Julius Caesar was celebrated as the Republic's greatest hero. But with every honor he received, fear grew inside the Senate. The Senate granted Caesar extraordinary powers, naming him dictator for life. Caesar introduced sweeping reforms, improving the calendar, reducing debt, and rewarding loyal veterans. To the people, Caesar was a visionary leader. To many senators, he looked like a king. A secret conspiracy began to take shape behind the marble walls of the Senate. Among the conspirators was Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar trusted like family. The conspirators believed that only Caesar's death could save the Roman Republic.
On the morning of March 15, 44 BC, the Ides of March, Caesar walked toward the Senate, unaware of the fate awaiting him.
Inside the Senate, silence filled the chamber as the conspirators took their places. In the next few moments, one of the most famous betrayals in history would change Rome forever.
The chamber remained silent. Then, one senator stepped forward, pretending to present a simple request.
As Caesar turned to respond, the conspirators closed in from every side. In an instant, the conspiracy was revealed. Chaos erupted inside the Senate.
The tyrant must die. Et tu, brute?
Among the attackers stood Brutus, a man Caesar had trusted for years. The death of Julius Caesar shocked the Roman world and left the Republic leaderless. Instead of restoring peace, the assassination plunged Rome into even greater chaos. Powerful generals and ambitious politicians rushed to claim Caesar's legacy. Rome was once again on the brink of civil war, and the future of the Republic hung by a thread. From the ashes of the Republic, a new leader would soon emerge, one destined to become Rome's first emperor.
Starts. After Caesar's assassination, his 18-year-old adopted heir, Octavian, returned to Rome. Few believed the young man.
To honor Caesar's memory, Octavian formed an uneasy alliance with Mark Antony and Lepidus, creating the Second Triumvirate. Together, they defeated Caesar's assassins, bringing an end to the conspiracy, but not to Rome's political conflict. Victory soon gave way to rivalry. The alliance collapsed as ambition once again divided Rome.
Mark Antony joined forces with Queen Cleopatra of Egypt, creating a powerful alliance that challenged Octavian. In 31 BC, their rivalry reached its climax at the Battle of Actium, one of history's greatest naval battles.
Octavian's brilliant strategy secured a decisive victory. Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt.
With no rivals left to challenge him, Octavian became the undisputed ruler of the Roman world. In 27 BC, the Senate granted him the title Augustus, marking the birth of the Roman Empire. From a small village beside the Tiber River to the greatest empire of the ancient world, Rome's journey had only just begun. Its legacy